Hey, welcome. It's Brian up here in Kingfield, Maine. It's March 3rd. It's my wife's birthday, actually. So I'm just taking a break from cleaning the house, if you believe that, and I'll sell you some land in Arizona. Anyway, got one to show today, and of course I had to start off with Stairway to Heaven, because this is the Harmony H1260, which is sometimes known as the Stairway guitar. Legend has it, which seemed to be a true legend, that Jimmy Page had one of these, that he wrote a whole bunch of the music from the first 4 Zeppelin albums because he just loved the big sound. And I'm a big fan of both Jimmy Page and the Harmony H1260 Sovereign. This is a solid spruce top, solid mahogany back and sides, jumbo size guitar. And I've done some demos on these before, so if you've watched my videos before, this is a lot of rerun info, but I'm a big fan of these things. This thing is a jumbo. This is not a dreadnought, and it's not a triple O, and it's not really even a quad O like an M36 or something that Martin makes. It is a 16-inch wide lower bout, so it's a big body, but it's got a pretty wide waist. You can see it doesn't really cut in as tight as like an M or a triple O or something. And it's just a great guitar. I think it's a great shape and a great size. These originally came all ladder braced, pretty thick tops like most Harmonies. Had a string through bridge that have a tendency to kind of peel up a little bit. Does have a mahogany or a Spanish cedar neck, so it's a nice piece of wood. And just a really cool guitar. And I love getting a hold of these in rough shape and restoring Resto-Mod, whatever the word I'm trying to use. Doing restorations on them. I call them a Resto-Mod because the modern part is I do X-brace conversions into it. The beauty of the ladder bracings, it really holds things together well, and the really thick tops means that a lot of these that I get a hold of have no cracks, like this one. It's very clean on the top. Now, having said that, let's take a look all around it. This one had been rode pretty hard and put away wet. You can see lots of chips and dings and buckle rash, and the worst situation was what looks like a failed neck set attempt because the neck joint was pretty well beat up. It had a shim in there, so someone had tried to do one, but it had a body crack. And it had been a little bit repaired inside, but it was coming apart again, so the neck was pulling up when I got it. So what I did is I pulled the neck off, and I took the back off. I saved all the original bindings, so that's all the stuff that came with it. And then I patched all of this stuff on the inside. So this is all glued up good and snug, and it's cleated all the way around the inside. And here on the very worst part, I've got a reinforced piece of mahogany in there, a thin strip of mahogany veneer on the inside that you can see through the sound hole. That's my dog wanting to come in. But anyway, then I went through, and any other little cracks and dings, those have been cleated and fixed up on the inside. While I have the back off, I sand on the inside of the top, and I bring this thing down to 0.105 inches. So it's a little over 1/10 of an inch thick now. It was a little over 1/8 of an inch. It was like 0.130 before. So now it's a very lightweight, resonant top. Then I start doing bracing. I take the 5 braces off the back, and I whittle them down to 4. Martin and Gibson use 4 braces, and I think that's sufficient. We don't need 5, and it takes a little weight off. While I'm in there, I X-brace the top. So all the ladders come off. X-bracing goes in. It's 1/4 inch spruce scalloped and tapered on the ends. I've got 2 belly tone bars down below and finger bars up on the sides. Transverse bar up top, no popsicle stick, so still pretty lightweight top. It's got a rock maple 1/10 inch thick bridge plate underneath the bridge, and then I carved this bridge for it. And this is made out of Cerakote, and I don't know if it'll show up real well in the video, but it's got a really cool grain pattern. I really like it. I actually did a fretboard and bridge on my J45 that I built out of it, and it's a really hard on the Janka hardness scale, so it's kind of like ebony. My dog's going to bark all the way through this, isn't he? But anyway, enough about that. I did keep the original fretboard and frets. Just gave it a basic fret dressing and polish. It's got the original nut, which I may swap out and put a bone nut on. It's got a bone saddle. Again, the pin through bridge is better than the string through. It won't pull up. nice low to it. I'm going to do another video here at some point that is going to be this versus my 64 Gibson J45 and my Martin HD35. And I think it's going to hold its own pretty well. Inch and 3/4 nut and a 2 5/16 string spacing at the bridge make finger picking fingerstyle pretty nice. She really digs in nice with a flat pick too. Intonation is spot on. I like to float the bridge up and back with a trapeze on just to get the saddle placement. And this is what I always use for kind of my test when I'm done. If that B hits, it seems right on. And then the last one, I always get this in all my videos. It's one of my favorite Clapton songs. It's got such good lows here. Anyway, 1968, I believe. 68 Harmony H1260 Sovereign. Neck reset, X-braced, new bridge, bridge plate. There's been a big market lately for what they call these Murphy Lab Gibson Les Pauls. You know, you pay $6,000 for a brand new Les Paul standard that they've gone over to make it look old. Well, this one's definitely looking old, but she's tight as a drum. The guts are rebuilt. This thing's ready for another 50 years of nights out on the town. Thanks a lot for watching. See ya.